begin. So today is a very special day. And, you know, I had sent the colors for today and tomorrow, and just, you know, these festivals, the 9-night festivals, are celebrated using a lunar calendar. And according to the lunar calendar, the energies of the 8th night and the 9th night have come together today. So here we are celebrating both of those. And my guidance today was to open up the session with a transmission by presencing all the different avatars of Goddess Parvati that we have experienced so far, and any other goddess that chooses to be present in their ascended form. And I should just turn the WhatsApp messaging on my computer off. So here it is off. So I'm just going to begin by, first of all, sharing the presences that we have amidst us today. And then we'll see what chooses to come through next. We have the presence of a series of, it is like a series of overlaying triangles, and the apex of each triangle is occupied by one of the goddess energies. So we have the 3 goddesses that have taken on various incarnations over the various scriptures that have talked and written about them. So we have the presence of Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. We have the presence of Goddess Saraswati, and we have the presence of Goddess Parvati. Saraswati is, she is the goddess of knowledge, the goddess of the arts. Goddess Lakshmi is the goddess of prosperity, and Goddess Parvati is the goddess that we have been celebrating at this particular time right now. And she's had many incarnations, and her energy's always been about keeping us in our center, knowing and connecting to the core strength that each one of us possesses. She's someone who presences the perfect balance and harmony within each one of us of the masculine and the feminine. And yes, the construct in the human form is a little bit different. That's just because of the propagation function that is called for when we occupy this human body on this planet Earth. But actually, when it comes to the masculine energy and the feminine energy, they exist in perfect harmony within each one of us. We sometimes get carried away based on our experiences, based on cellular memories that might have come from our lineage, or that might have been picked up from the environment that we have been brought up in, cultural stuff, societal stuff, generational stuff, gender stuff, from which we pick up some of these programmings and allow them to be lodged at a cellular level. None of them are nanocellular. They do not have a nanocellular presence. A nanocellular presence is really an RNA and a DNA level presence. The RNA and DNA level presence that exists within us actually is the remembrance that we are in perfect harmony in terms of masculine and feminine energy that exists within us. Goddess Parvati is the one that brings about that harmonization, gets us to return to a remembrance of what it feels like being in complete harmony of the masculine and the feminine within us. So these 9 nights celebrate her various incarnations. In any Indian festival, when we have any one goddess present, we certainly have the other 2 there as well, performing their part. And in a few days, we will be going into the goddess of prosperity as we enter the festival of lights, which is Diwali, and that is Lakshmi. And we will have these other goddesses also present when we are there. So that's one triangle. We have another triangle. And this other triangle has a goddess called Hathor. She comes from the Middle Eastern region. To me, she embodies like a grandmother energy, like just so experienced and so wise and just no BS. And she will hold you. And if you feel that there is something courageous that you are to do, she will hold the space and push you over that branch so you can fly if that is what is needed. But she will do it exactly at the right time when you feel that you may just pull it off. And she will just say, okay, fine, go for it. And then she will support you to do that. She's really does not buy into any of our bullshit. So Goddess Hathor is present. We also have the presence of Goddess Isis. Goddess Isis is from Egypt. And she is all about learnings from past lives. One of the very powerful opportunities that we have available to us as we come towards the end of 2020 is a completion of all past life stuff. It could be to do with any past life karmic relationships that may have been created, or it could be any past life stuff, lessons that we are supposed to learn in this lifetime. Literally, the rest of 2020 gives you an opportunity to say, okay, Goddess Isis, I give over all of the past life learnings that I'm supposed to have. Give me the learning and take away the pain that you don't need to endure anymore. So Goddess Isis does that. There's another amazing goddess that we have present in this mix, and she is called Goddess Isolt. Isolt is, and you can look all of these up if you are so interested. I mean, for me, when I started connecting with this realm, I had no idea who any of these beings were. So I would just write down the name. I could feel the energy. I could feel it was different. And then I would, after my process was done, I would go online and check it out, and felt very grateful to have, connected with these amazing beings. So Goddess Isolt. Isolt is about harmonizing any past life, particularly lover type relationships, like past life lessons from someone that you had a more intimate relationship with. And Goddess Isolt, in a very loving way, at a cellular level, it's as if she is one of those, she's a bit like those artists that restore ancient paintings or murals in these old churches. They have these fine, very fine brushes and very fine devices. And they've got a very delicate hand with which they clean up the old stuff so that the original painting can emerge. Goddess Isolt is a little bit like that when it comes to relationships and relating, particularly in the realm of intimacy. So she is present here. We have a third triangle. And this third triangle is a fiery one. It's the one that gets us, that invokes our passion and has us be stationed in our passion. So we have the presence of Goddess Pele. Goddess Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of fire. She's a goddess of passion. So she's present. We also have the presence of Goddess Freya. Goddess Freya is a Nordic goddess, and it is she who has given the name Friday. She's the goddess of the harvests. Quite a sensual being, quite a, let your hair down and, experience what life can be, when you come alive being true to who you are meant to be. So Goddess Freya is a little bit like that, really unleashes you. And we have a third goddess in this mix called Goddess Gwenevere. Goddess Gwenevere, she was married to King Arthur and was in the middle of this triangle between King Arthur, Lancelot, and Gwenevere. Gwenevere is, she was born to anchor the experience of romance. And romance as an adventure form. Romance, which is, it isn't about giving the power of your romance off to someone else, but it is actually really owning the promise of romance as a lifestyle. And that's what Goddess Gwenevere does. Even when you get into an intimate relationship with a romantic partner, Goddess Gwenevere ensures that you can continue to be in the experience of romance as a lifestyle, feeling unbridled, feeling unleashed, experiencing the joy of you, feeling comfortable, presencing the presence of you. And that's what Goddess Gwenevere does. So as a result, when you get into a space of relating, there is this wonderful co-creation experience that can happen. So that's the third triangle of goddesses. We have three more that are there. This one is Goddess Sophia. And Goddess Sophia is, based on how I have experienced her, when someone crosses over and is not quite ready to let go of the attachments to worldly possessions, and it is their time to cross over, Goddess Sophia, in her own gentle way, supports the soul to release the attachments to what was unrequited, and return to an understanding that the soul being is whole and complete. There is never anything unrequited there. So she's someone who literally, is the guide. If you require her, she's available. She's the guide that takes you through that final journey of your soul being returning to its soul presence and releasing and completing anything and everything that came from this human form. So Sophia is present. We also have the presence of Goddess Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion. She is an incarnation of the Buddha Zen energy, and she has chosen not to completely ascend and go off to the other side, but keep a very close presence connecting to literally the hearts of all humans, so that compassion vibe remains in our presence in the now. And one of the things that Kuan Yin does very effectively is, even if something occurs that really destabilizes you or shakes you up in a particular moment, the moment you presence Kuan Yin, she's as if placed this little elixir of compassion. And that compassion is always there in our heart. So when you presence yourself in the now, you are actually connected to compassion. So Goddess Kuan Yin is there. And the third goddess in this triangle is actually Mother Mary. Mother Mary carries with her the elixir, the key, the flame of miracles. She is the miracle anchor. She is the miracle anchor. She is the one that gave me my Olympic flame equivalent, if you like, of expecting and accepting miracles as the norm. So she is very present here. So these are the different goddesses that are there. They are there in this triangle construct because we are, as we get to this last leg of 2020, there are certain new forms of sacred geometry symbols that are actually being anchored on the planet. And these sacred geometry forms are more triangular And it is a placement of triangles in particular formation that creates different types of sacred geometry forms. There's a very active utilization of Merkaba type shapes as well. So those of you who love collecting crystals, you can actually go find yourself certain Merkaba shapes. They are very, very powerful and anchoring. And if you look at a Merkaba is made up of a whole collection of triangles. So we have all of these collection of goddesses in this particular triangular shape, and they are overlaid in a way that anchors that goddess energy on the planet. What is the goddess energy? The goddess energy is the energy of creation. It is the energy of creativity. It is the energy that is all about the creator that can create anything, and the creator can create anything. But it feels so overwhelming to even imagine that we can do the same, right? So what the goddess energy does is it brings into the creation of the creator the vibe of collaboration, the vibe of co-creation, and the vibe of coexistence. And that is what is being anchored right now. Now, creation by itself can become too much. What is also called for is an expansion and sharing and propagation and multiplication of the creation. So goddess energy brings in collaborative co-creation of coexistence into the creation energy of the creator that each one of us possesses. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have as much goddess energy, even when you're a man, as a woman does. Now, goddess energy by itself is insufficient. So what we have here with the three fiery goddesses and the goddess Gwenevere who brings in romance, what is being brought in here is the sacred masculine vibe. So it's the phrase that I always get is the divine feminine and the sacred masculine. The divine feminine vibe is presenced by the goddess energy. The sacred masculine vibe is also coming from the goddess energy, since today we are celebrating with these goddesses. And what that does is it is the one that is all about, propagating and expanding and spreading and amplifying, and doing so in such a way that this propagation brings about a regeneration of the vibe of a harmonic coexistence of all beings that make up this planet. You've heard me say that 2020 also anchors the energy of celebration. And we are literally, it's as if the countdown has begun for turning the volume up on celebration. And we have some big festivals across the world occurring over the next several weeks. We have one that's going to begin tomorrow and the day after. And then we have one coming up in India of Diwali, which is the Festival of Lights. We have, Thanksgiving coming up. We have the Jewish festivities emerging very, very soon. We have, of course, Christmas coming up. We have the celebration of the new year. And really this year, it's a year to celebrate the completion of this year too. So what is being anchored with all of these energies that have come together is the celebration vibe. And sure enough, there are festivals. There are associations with those festivals, which, the associations are all about celebrating those festivals. And really what is being anchored is the celebration of you. Celebration of life. Because it is in having this life where you as an organism is breathing. You have the choice to come alive. And when you choose to come alive, you are in your flow. That is what aliveness is. Even if you're having an up, you're having some ups and you're having some downs, and that is occurring. Knowing what you're experiencing, and choosing to notice that and unconditionally accept what is, that is also aliveness. That is also being in flow in your aliveness. So literally, life is a festival. That is the first message. Life in itself is a festival. And live it in such a way that every moment you are celebrating this festival of life. And that is the consequence of celebrating the festival of life. The result of that is aliveness. I mean, you just have to look around, look at the trees, look at the blossoms, look at the turning of the leaves in the autumn, into the autumn colors. There is such a vibrancy of aliveness. And we were talking a few minutes ago about the difference between stillness and silence. And we have already entered a phase where it is about stillness. And through stillness will emerge that which is in the highest service of you. And the stillness does not require silence. And if you have silence, that's cool. When you go into the space of celebrating the festival of life, you actually experience stillness. And you may be dancing like a maniac to some phenomenal 60s music or whatever it might be, and still be in that complete stillness within. Stillness, this is the second piece. Stillness comes from presence. And it comes from you presencing your presence. And that all feels like, oh my God, how do we do that? What are the steps? Well, if you just make a choice of giving yourself the present of your presence and say, right, I receive, that's all. And yes, you can get very complicated about it too, but you don't need to. You don't have to. When you are in this vibe of celebrating the festival of life, you just say, right, I receive this present of my presence. And then there will be a very unique rhythm to your own celebration. And you can then share that, and you can choose to not share it. And however you choose to go about it, you are in that space of stillness. So all of these goddesses coming together, there are certain messages that each one of them has, and there are certain messages that all of them have together. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually begin by just sharing a few messages that all of them have together. And then there are a few people that I'll just be guided to based on which goddess wishes to communicate with who, and record specific transmissions for you. And this Beyond Meditation session, the Human Vibe Attunement, it's as if even though you have not spoken the 3 sentences, you have already, in me introducing these goddesses in the form of these intersecting triangles, introducing the vibe of a Merkaba into our mix, you already are in the experience of the human vibe attunement, expressed in perfect harmony, where you and your soul being together have already acknowledged at a higher self level, at a conscious level, at an unconscious level, and a subconscious level. You've already acknowledged yourself as a human, received yourself as a human, and accepted yourself as a human. And that's how you're showing up right here. And if there's any form of diminishing experience of that anywhere, we are in a circle. It's like a family constellation of beyond meditators, added to which are these amazing presences of all of these goddesses. So we are all literally being harmonized at exactly the level that we are meant to when we operate from that vibration of being human, which is love. So here are some key messages. These are not instead of what messages I've already shared. These are as well as what I've already shared. So the first message for every one of you to get is that you possess the perfect illumination, which gives you your light, your unique light, that you can tap into anytime you go into any dark space. So you even when you are walking in a dark space, a dark corridor, you can literally go, okay, I want to tap into my light. And it's as if something will occur and you will know exactly what step to take and which direction to go to. I received this blessing in 2011. Just at the start of 2011. And I remember, I would go exploring to various waterfalls and temples and stuff in Bali. I was living in Bali at the time. And sometimes you would get to the temple. It would be in the middle of nowhere, but getting back out was quite difficult. And the locals always knew the shortcuts, but the shortcuts would go through rice fields and precarious bridges over fast-moving water underneath and stuff, and ravines that you could actually not see at night, but the locals knew that. And that could be quite nerve-wracking. And it was nerve-wracking if I turned the flashlight on my phone and saw it. So literally, I started using this light, my own illumination. And it's as if it's an interesting form of light that you get present to. It's like a knowingness that descends into you. And you just know exactly where you put the next step and the next step and the next step. And the beauty of this your own inner illumination is, sure enough, you can use it as you are walking, but you can also use it when you are making choices for what next in your life. The illumination literally has got the ability to focus like a laser beam and only show you that which is your logical next step. The context of this illumination, when applied, is you allowing yourself to be stationed, experiencing the energy of Source expressing through you. So stationed in whole and complete, expecting and accepting miracles as the norm. So that's the first message. The second message that I'm getting from these goddesses is it's time to switch. There are many switches you're going to go through. It's particularly time to switch your understanding of money. Money is now carrying with it the vibration of prosperity. And this is the vibration that Goddess Lakshmi embodied when she first surfaced into this planet. Prosperity. Prosperity is the vibe of money, and it is going to be the vibe of money as long as money as a mode of transaction is going to exist. It will no longer be the only mode of transaction. It will no longer be the only device for you to procure that which you require to live the calling of your soul. What is the vibe of money? It is prosperity. What is the vibe of prosperity? Prosperity is a gift. It is a gift from our Creator. And for us in India, we see her in the form of Goddess Lakshmi. So it is a gift from our Creator given into our hands as humans to make this planet a place of pure love and joy. It is a gift given into our hands from our Creator to make this planet a place of pure love and joy. I invite you to write it down, and I invite you to allow yourself to decipher, because every word, what that means for you. So make that switch in terms of money, switch to the energy of prosperity, which is a gift from our Creator given into your hands as humans, our hands as humans, to make this planet a place of pure love and joy. It is not given into the hands of cows or trees. Even where humans work with forests or wild animals, it is still given only in the hands of humans. That's the energy of money when it's become prosperity. Prosperity is an energy and it is flow. And it is so because it is energy that flows, the consequence of the prosperity, energetic flow, is the experience of abundance. Looking at prosperity in any other way will immediately put you into a cage, and that cage will become your prison. And then it starts to, becoming the one that creates the confines from which you are to operate out of. It doesn't have to be that way. Presence, the energy of prosperity, by switching your understanding of what money is. The third message is about wisdom. It's a lot, and there is going to be even more. There's a lot of focus on information, the value of information, the value of data, the value of, analyzing data gives you information. Processing that information results in knowledge. Being able to use and apply that knowledge, is wisdom. And you can approach it in this way. And that's great. Step by step, you can work with whatever it is that you call as knowledge or wisdom. Where we are going now is a knowing. So you are blessed. Each one of you here is blessed with the prowess of moving from information to a knowing state. That is the blessing that this collection of goddesses is bestowing on us. Allow yourself to receive that. And when you come from a knowing, it is unequivocal. There is no confusion. And you can use your illumination to get that focus on the logical next step. And when you take that logical next step, bring that creator energy in. And when you bring that creator energy in, tap into your knowing. When you tap into your knowing, you will get the response that prosperity is a given. Just look at the world around you. You know, if you just take the humans, you know, just like fade them out a little bit and just look at nature by itself, how prosperous and rich that is. Some of you have heard me say, you know, we have that level of prosperity within us. And you see that in nature all around you. And nature doesn't start gloating or choosing who it's going to share its prosperity with or giving more to some and less to others. You know, an apple tree gives you apples. It doesn't stop when it thinks you've had enough apples. And that's the vibe of prosperity. Now, as you start to bring humans in to focus again, starting with yourself, you know, you start noticing the richness of you, just in terms of the characteristics that you embody. And then you can go from there in terms of your talents, in terms of your, you know, intellect, in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your relationships, in terms of your experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. All of them come together and make up the richness of aliveness that you can tap into. Those are the experiences that you've had up to this point in time. The next message from all of these goddesses together is another switch. Make another switch. A switch from sympathy to empathy to connectedness. So, you know, there's lots of stuff that has already occurred that, you know, some of it really makes our heart feel very tender. And we can go down the track of sympathy. And it's okay if that's what you feel, you express that. It's better still if you actually learn to empathize. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. And it's even better if you allow yourself to remain connected. Because when someone is going through something that is difficult for them, just feeling that they are not alone, they have got these connections, that helps. And really where we are taking you next after connection is building up your capacity to hold the space. So just all we are to do is to support people to come home to themselves, to recognize the power that they are, and be comfortable presencing that and being stationed in it. just speaking it is not going to do it. It'll just cause overwhelm. So you can use these switches that these goddesses are presenting us today. You know, when you feel that feeling of sympathy for anyone, flick a switch, get into empathy. And that's powerful. Flick a switch when you're ready. And you can literally, you just say, right, I use click of a finger as my flicker switch. Flicker switch, I get into connecting. And then I flick a switch again and I become a space holder. As people start to emerge, processing whatever it is that they are processing, going through their own journey. And this is one of the gifts of this COVID phenomenon time, you know. People have gone into people of all genders, all classes, all strata of society, all economic, experiences of life, all health conditions have gone through various journeys in their own way. And those of us that are still here, we have emerged, you know, and we know we can. And it's really powerful when you know that there are some that are holding the space for your emergence. So that's the other switch that you are to make, and know that there are 4 switches. You know, don't need to rush into the last one. And you don't have to stay in one place for any length of time. You can choose and go, flick the switch, move to the next, flick the switch, move to the next. It's as fast as that. And this next message is a message about the perfect alchemy that prepares you for 2021. And the alchemy is the alchemy of the innate vibe of being human, which is love, alchemized with the innate vibe of nature, which is ok-ness. And there is a third in the triangle. And the third in the triangle is the catalyst for this alchemy to take place. And the catalyst is that unique piece that you as the alchemist bring about. And it is your innate vibe. We all have it. And at some point, depending on your deeper engagement with the work that I do, I will tell you what your innate vibe is. And I know that there are several of you here on this call who know what your innate vibe is. And now I have a few people that I want to share some messages with. We have a WhatsApp group. And I believe that all of you are in it. And if you are not, then in the chat, send me your telephone number. Download WhatsApp on your mobile phone and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. So I'm saying this so that if you have any specific questions for these amazing goddess energies that you are not able to tap into yourself and get responses for, then ask that question in that WhatsApp group. I invite you to use it to ask the question, because in my response, we will anchor the answer, not the question. This is the other piece that we are working on, by the way, and these goddesses are here to support us to do that, which is to literally neutralize the questions so that we are able to more and more and more of us are able to station ourselves in whole and complete. Having too many questions floating around with unanswered questions make it harder for those of us who are ready for embodied enlightenment to experience it as fast as is possible now these days. So a message for David and Helene. So the goddess messages for you are that it's time for you both to take what you have done already as a foundation, and what you are meant to bring out next is going to utilize that foundation of think positive. And it's actually going to be like the third generation incarnation that is actually what is called for in the new rhythm of our world. Okay, so like just go within, all the goddesses I've talked about, they are all here to support you. So go within yourself and look at, well, what is this third generation from what we have already created? Even if there is a creation that you've already made that you haven't yet released, that is still, it's still version 1.5 or 1.8. What I'm talking about is something that is actually going to be a 3.0 upwards. Goddess Pele is going to play a key role in supporting you with it, as will Goddess Saraswati. Anchor in the prosperity energy into it, because everything you do is so in line with making this planet a place of pure love and joy that it literally, humans and humanity are ready for that third generation. And I am excited. Oh, I love these smiles. Wonderful. Right. Phyllis. The message for you is, over the next 6 weeks, you're going to, it's like your third eye is being worked on for a higher purpose, Phyllis. Okay, so you may feel a level of discomfort in your forehead, and just feel it and breathe into it. The 946 breaths that we do, just breathe into it. Go into the Human Vibe Attunement, say it 2 or 3 times, and just allow yourself to be. It's going to take 6 weeks for your third eye to be worked on for a higher purpose. There is some repair work that is needed for your pineal glands, which a lot of us have had the experience just through water and fluoride and this and that has had an impact on diminishing the capacity of the pineal gland to enable our third eye to open fully. And you are super ready for that. Okay, so the next 6 weeks is going to be, that preparation work. So just keep in touch with me. You can either just message me privately, or if you have any particular experiences or questions, that are okay to ask in the group, do that. But, this particular one, I'm here to support you, or privately as well. Just reach out to me. It's a very special time. And it can literally happen anytime, but the next 6 weeks, they're just working on it. Thank you. So, Linda, so it is going to be these collection of goddesses. So it's really the triangle of Pele, Gwenevere, and Freya, combined with Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Parvati, that are going to come together to carve out and draw with you the blueprint for that new career of yours. Okay, so Linda, we will talk. Okay, we will talk because I'm just guided to support you to kickstart the blueprint. Okay, and then you will, go in and populate the different pieces in the blueprint. What fun, yes. Great. Vince. Now, this is a weird message, right? This is from Freya. Freya has been with you a lot. You come from that part of the world also. So that's a very powerful energy that is very present with you. So there's an invitation for you to travel to Germany as soon as you're able to. And Vince, I'm going to do a recording and send to you so that you can actually do like an astral travel to Germany, without necessarily having to board a plane, which will not happen for a while. So you don't need to worry about the plane part. But I'm going to get that energetic travel to Germany. And there are about 3 very specific spots that you ought to go to, because there are some big completions of your lineage that need to occur. Okay, so you've done a lot of the work. You've got some pretty solid foundation of transformational work that you've been engaged in. But there's still some stop, start that is happening because there's a lot of lineage incompletions that exist. Okay, you've had many lifetimes in Germany and Denmark and some pretty tough times during a very dark moments of this planet that these cultures sometimes engaged in at that time. It felt perfectly okay for them at the time, but carrying that incompletion with you is not serving you. It's interfering in the service that keeps you anchored in whole and complete, so it takes you off whole and complete. Okay, so I will do a recording and send to you, and that is really only for you. It's not for anyone else. Anyone else does not need to go into that powerful spaces in Germany. Your sister, it doesn't apply to, it applies to you. So I'm just tuning in to see the 2 more that I'm supposed to talk to. So this is a message for Ken. Ken. So you've got yourself into a space, Ken, right now, where you're going to have a very unusual experience of ascension, and it's like an embodied ascension. So you know what I'm saying, and it's what is going to serve you is going to be the Rinpoches from your journeys in Tibet and Bhutan. And there are some animal kingdom beings. One of them is a collection of stingrays that you have engaged with, And there's another being that is a whale, a humpback whale, that knows you really well and has been bombarding you with ancient wisdom of what is going to make up the foundation of this planet. And I know this probably seems really way out there for most people, that what I'm saying to Ken, but Ken, you get what I'm saying. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's pretty powerful what is to occur. So I'm here to support you with that. The next person that I'm guided to share a message with is Mary Malloy. So Mary, what you have created as biodynamic medicine requires a new name. The energy signature of biodynamic actually diminishes the power of what that is. That is, it's a very scientifically proven methodology that underpins the work you do. And it is somehow being couched in an area that does not have so much science attached to it. So you will receive the name that you will use as the brand to bring forward your technology. And this is going to occur in the next 90 days. It will be so clear what this brand is, how you're going to bring it forward, all the scientific evidence that you have relentlessly worked through over decades. All the dots will come together and the package will be ready to be literally unleashed into the world. It is what you have created is so powerful and so essential and so in tune with the work that we've been doing in Beyond Meditation, especially the gut connection part, that we just want to get exactly the right brand. And I'm guided to say to you, Mary, that you focus on just going within and see what emerges. Even by the time we get to Diwali, which is our festival of lights, you will literally have so many light bulbs switch on. Okay? When you've had about 10 of those, that's when you and I will talk. But the first 10 are going to come from you. Okay? The bonus messages for Mohini. So Mohini, what's missing and essential that is called for you to put in place is an understanding of the position of the mind in your journey to aliveness. It just holds an undue level of command and control in you, and it really interferes. It interferes and comes in the way of how you are meant to blossom. So literally, you have an opportunity. In the next 3 days, you will be able to achieve this shift. Goddess Saraswati is working with you, as is Goddess Freya and Goddess Pele, these three. Very different energies, very different energies. So you make a note of these three goddesses. We'll be having lunch together tomorrow. Maybe you and I can have a bit of time and see what else these goddesses wish to communicate to you. Having said all of that, I just invite us to acknowledge ourselves as a human, receive ourselves as a human, accept ourselves as a human. Let's just say it 3 times and complete the session. I know it's gone on beyond what I expected, and it is a very special day. So let's just repeat after me. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. We're just going to go into the 946 breath, and you are anchoring the powerful energies of these goddesses in their sacred geometry form in your fields. As we do the 946 breath, you will get into a whole brain state about it. So breathe in to the count of 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a deep breath into your heart. Fill it up with love, kindness, and compassion. And breathe out gratitude and peace. So deep breath in, love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in, love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Take your hands in front of your neck. Rub them against each other. Put them over your eyes. Take them on top of your head, the back of your head, either side of your neck, down your shoulders. Do an energy sweep. Thank you. If you have the time and would like to share your word, your phrase to complete, please put it in the chat. Thank you so much. And have a great celebration of all of these amazing goddess energies that are now anchored in our field. Thank you. Illuminated. Indeed, deep contemplation, grace, celebration, super blessed and happy abundance, celebrating aliveness, so much love and gratitude. Thank you, Mynoo. Goosebumps from heaven. Thank you. Yeah, I got that too, Vince, when I was talking to you. Fascinating, inspired, and grateful. Grateful, blessed, and looking forward to what's to come. Indeed, celebrating goddesses. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Joyful presence, so much love and gratitude, exclamation mark, super blessed, happy abundance, celebrations, grace. Oh, education, humbled. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, thank you. Yes, I got the message, Phyllis. I'll add you to WhatsApp. Karen, I think you are already, and I will add you if you're not. Jamela, I will add you too. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Prerna is sharing the message from my book, the Miracle Journal, which is just so perfect for what we just did. Yes, wink of an eye is a switch flick. Indeed. Excitement, love, joy, essence of celebration. Yes, very happy Navratri. Thank you. Blessings on this amazing day. Unlimited. Thank you so much. It's always difficult to complete this session. And let's station ourselves in whole and complete it. Enjoy the weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you.